South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magdalene, Shofit, bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video, and I'm going to be reacting to Tales of Toronto, the crazy story of Flippa. A lot of y'all been asking me to react to this, so you know your boy got y'all. It's been a minute since I reacted to something like this that was like a documentary style, Savages from the 6 style of video. But give a shout out to this channel. Make sure y'all go subscribe, show them some love. It's called Child Support. That's a hilarious name for a YouTube channel. But yeah, we're going to check this one out. I heard a little bit about Flippa. I know recently he had trial and he lost. So I think he's doing life or something like that. Apparently, he was a part of a hit against a mafia dude. Crazy story. Him and YS, allegedly. You know, we always got to put that out there. But yeah, we're going to check this one out. Also, you know what I'm saying? Just to protect myself, this is fair use. I'm reacting and giving my opinion and commentating. Because last time, you know, it'd be a lot of funny dudes when you react to their videos. So I got to put it out there. This is fair use. Protected by fair use. Reaction, giving my opinion, and commentating. All right. Anyway, it's your boy Dollars.
What's going on, supporters? Before we start the video, I would like to thank everyone for 3,000 subscribers. That's a huge...
Skip that.
Here there are a dozen markings or so on the ground there.
It appears that it was targeted. It was certainly crowded at that time, and there's a lot of people that would have left before police arrived.
Suspect approached the deceased. The fact that there were multiple shots fired, it would be considered overkill in a situation. Deceased ran into the restaurant to get away from the bullets, and the waiting car drove away with the suspect in the passenger seat. So clearly, this looks to be a planned shooting.
Using a crazy story beat.
I'm 2 minutes from the food bank. Fam, okay, you better be there. I'm packing the next white boy there at that food bank.
Switched up my Glock. You ain't pressing, nigga. You from Maple Leaf. And my...
Said Mohiuddin, better known as Flippa, came to Toronto from Somalia when he was an infant and settled in impoverished Lawrence Heights, specifically Jumble, which is where his parents raised him and his 5 siblings. Jumble has birthed some rare talent, from the lyrical and deep rap.
They from the hood jungle, right? I always wondered, if they from the hood jungle, they gotta be a dude with the name Tarzan over there, bro. That's a layup, bro. If you from jungle and you don't know nobody named Tarzan, then I don't know, bro. It just goes hand in hand. Nah, but all jokes aside, like, I've been interested in making these type of videos too, like, you know, documentary style. Maybe in the future your boy Dollars will do it. But it gotta be on a topic that I know about, that I'm interested in doing. You know what I'm saying? I know that's like a quick side note, but yeah, like, I'm interested in doing these type of videos. It takes a lot of work though, because you got to do the research and editing and finding videos to all make it one video. It's a lot of work. So shout out to the guys that be doing this.
Group Ghetto Concept.
Who that?
To the loud and expressive drill artist.
Oh, these are
named
the rappers
5.
that come from there?
Its energy has even reached the likes of Drake, who named his 2015 tour after the neighborhood. However, with the rising popularity and...
I don't think that's why he named his tour that. Maybe I'm wrong, but did he really name his tour after Jungle? Like, why would he name it after Jungle?
With gang violence rising at a historic rate in a city known for its safety, Jumble quickly imploded.
Toronto's Lawrence Heights is home to families who want their children to be safe.
It's also an area plagued by senseless gun violence and criminals with no regard for innocent lives. CTV's Miranda Anthistle's in the community tonight.
86 shootings?
Continue to gather to share their experiences. Miranda?
That's right, Ken. So we have heard this week from politicians and from
RIP.
police about how to tackle gun violence. In fact, just a minute ago, the chief of police walked into this meeting, but this neighborhood really wants to hear from its own people. They have experienced a very violent summer so far this year, and they say they want to hear from...
Damn, shorty, you got a giraffe neck, bro. Damn, she got a long neck. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, chicks with long necks gotta be good at, you know, Let me stop.
Those
Let me
experiencing
stop.
trauma of gun violence. On July 15th, just before 5 p.m., 2 men opened fire near Allen Road and Rance Avenue.
Damn.
This would be the first of 9 shootings within a 3-week period in and around the Lawrence
Holy.
Heights neighborhood.
As Jumble was up in flames, Flippa was all the way in Mississauga, Ontario, robbing banks. In September of 2013, the local Sauga news station posted a picture of a 24-year-old Flippa and alleged he walked into a bank just after 2:30 p.m. and handed the teller a note demanding cash. But when the teller pressed the panic button, he fled the bank. Flippa was arrested shortly.
I ain't gonna hold you. For all you guys that like doing that shit, robbing banks in the future, they're gonna have something where they press the button and you get locked inside the bank so you can't escape. It's gonna happen. So think about that before you guys decide to rob a bank, bro, because you never know.
Shortly after, but due to this being his first arrest, he managed to beat the case. However, his troubles were just beginning. By the middle of 2013, the city of Toronto was suffering. Gun violence was at an all-time high. The streets were flooded in historic downpours, and the mayor of the city was caught smoking crack.
There has been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine.
You did, though.
I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine.
Lies.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
In an infamous picture leaked by Gawker Media, Rob
Damn.
Ford is seen standing by 3 men, Anthony Smith, Mohammed Katek, and...
Nah, them dudes is legends, bro. They had the mayor copping work off of them. Feel me? I ain't gonna lie, I would have been best friends with the mayor, bro. Like, whatever you need, I got you, bro. Feel me? Because I just need that pardon. If I get in trouble, make sure that I'm good.
And Munir Kasim, all of which have ties to the infamous Dixon Bloods. On March 28, 2013, 2 of the men in the picture, Anthony Smith and Mohammed Katek, would enter Low-Key Lounge on King Street West to enjoy a night out. Once inside, Anthony would spot a familiar face staring at him with a menacing look.
Flippa? This
person was Flippa. In publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Anthony and Flippa had prior beef and Anthony was looking to hurt Flippa. So as soon as Anthony seen him, he began tapping out a series of text messages on his phone to a man named Libin Siad, a leader of the Dixon City Bloods. Libin replied to Anthony with just 2 words, halal meat. This was the signal for Anthony to kill Flippa. Minutes later, Anthony...
Basically, he's food. Listen, if you guys have ops, you know what I'm saying? If you guys got beef or whatever, and you happen to bump into your enemy somewhere and you see them on the phone, y'all should know what's going on, bro. Y'all should be on point regardless. You see your op, it's not no time to be friendly, not no time to hesitate. And like, again, I'm not advocating for none of this shit. But if you guys want to live that life, then you should be living the life the right way and be, you know, 100% involved. Yeah, a lot of y'all dudes want to dip and dabble in the streets, and it don't work that way, bro. Either you're going to be in the streets all the way. If not, then don't even bother. Feel me? Like, if you see your enemy, you should be on 100. You should know it's going to go down. Something could happen. You should be ready and prepared. That's all I'm saying. Especially if you see them on the phone typing shit.
Mohammed Katek and a man named Santana confronted Flippa and another man outside the club.
Damn. Come on, just when it was getting good, bro.
One by one, friends come to pay their respects to the family of Anthony Smith.
He's a big part of the community. He's really going to be missed. He was a brother.
The 21-year-old Seneca College student and talented basketball player leaves behind a grieving mother, younger brother, and 2 sisters.
What happened here? It's not the same dude that sent the hit out, right? Or this was just an innocent bystander that got caught up?
Anthony brought nothing but joy, smiles.
It's that smile sister Camelia Taylor watched walk out her front door Wednesday for the last time.
I got the phone call at 3:30.
Taylor says her brother's friends called her to say Smith had been shot. She rushed to see him at St. Mike's.
Isn't he the same dude that called up his leader to get the green light to do something to Flippa? Because if that's the case, then that shit always, like, it gets me when people be like, oh, my son and my brother, he was such a good kid, part of the community. Meanwhile, your man is green light and dudes to get killed, bro. Like, come on.
Hospital.
I don't know if it's the same dude, though.
Accept it.
Smith and a friend had been shot several times after leaving a club on King Street West.
Damn.
He died a few hours later.
When attempting to confront Flippa, Anthony was shot in the left side of the head and died instantly, while Mohammed was shot in the chest and neck. Santana managed to escape and quickly contacted Dixon Blood leader Libin Siad and told him what had happened. Santana made it clear that Flippa was not the shooter. Instead, it was his right-hand man, Nisar Hashimi. Shortly after the shooting, Nisar was arrested by Toronto police and charged with first-degree murder. After more than a year of deliberation, Nisar pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter and aggravated assault and is currently on year 8 of his 9-year sentence.
Wow.
Flippa, on the other hand,
Man got
fled to
9
Alberta
years?
shortly after the shooting, where he would find himself in more trouble.
Bullet holes in a windshield in a garage, casings on a driveway. Investigators search for clues in our city's latest shooting. One neighbor's surveillance camera captured the moment a man was targeted by rapid gunfire. Police confirm he was struck multiple times and is seen crawling away. One inspector can only say the victim is known to police and it's not believed to be a random act.
On June 2nd, 2015, the Royal Canadian Mounted
June 2nd, my birthday, by the way. Holy.
Police, also known as the RCMP, were called to Richard Street at 6 a.m. where a 32-year-old Fort McMurray man appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. 1 week later, on July 10th, the RCMP responded to a report of gunshots in the area of Charles Avenue and Hainault Street and found a 59-year-old man dead in a car riddled with bullet holes. Police believed both shootings were not only related, but targeted hits as well. The RCMP immediately launched an investigation, and in just 3 months they announced that Flippa had been arrested and would subsequently be charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of careless use of a firearm, 1 count of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and 2 counts.
It always gets me when these guys get charged for assaults and shootings, when it's like, bro, that should be attempted murder, bro. Anytime you use a gun and shoot it at somebody, that's attempted murder. That's not an assault to me. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, to me, that's attempt.
Counts of discharging a firearm with intent.
Even if you shoot somebody in the leg, that's attempt murder. You know why? Because you could hit an artery. The bullets travel inside you. Like, some bullets, if they hit your bone, they could travel inside you, hit an organ. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's always an attempt. Damn, so your boy Flippa was a menace, huh?
Smoking dope, getting tree high. The bitch I'm with, yeah, she buy. I keep the 100, got a lot of hunters. Use your hip hop, I put dollars on it.
That's King Louis.
More money, more problems. Can't sleep, I need codeine. And I'm smoking like a dolphin.
What does this gotta do with Flippa, bro?
Shit chested is not checkers. If I shoot a nigga in his
Jerome Bell, aka Murda, is a rapper reigning from the West End of Toronto, specifically the Scarlet Road and Dundas Street West area. This area is known as Shots Up Mafia territory, and in publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Shots Up Mafia is a criminal organization involved in numerous robberies and drug trafficking incidents which were used to fund its criminal activities and acquiring firearms to protect its members and turf. Rival crews include Alexandra Park, Driftwood, and Jungle, all of which refer to themselves as Shots Down Mafia. It is alleged that Murda was originally the creator of Shots Up Mafia, while his older cousin Shaquille Bell, aka M. Locke, ran the group's illegal operations. Fast forward to 2013, Murda began a rap career that would immediately flourish as his songs reached hundreds of thousands of views, and at one point,
well, I never heard of this guy. Nobody ever mentioned him to me.
A million. Everything seemed to be going well for Murda. However, with his face now becoming more and more recognizable, it wouldn't take long before trouble came knocking.
Blue and white balloons are tied to a post on Randolph Avenue. At its base, flowers, candles, and spots of blood. This is where 22-year-old Jerome Bell was shot dead yesterday.
He's a great person. Everybody loved him.
Homicide investigators believe the victim was targeted.
Any idea why he would ever be targeted?
I have no idea. I have no idea. None. If anyone knows, let us know.
Bell was one of 4 siblings, an aspiring rapper who went by the nickname Murda. His sisters say they've been receiving countless messages of support from his friends.
Murda was one of the favorite people I've ever met. So funny.
I mean, his name was Murda. What you expect? Like, you have no idea what could have led to him getting killed, but his name is Murda. How you think he got that name?
Humble and smart, and I've been blessed to have to share amazing memories.
Nah, he's a good kid.
March
What's his name?
19th,
Murda.
2019. Murda is executed while standing outside.
And again, this is not like a diss to the dead. It's just let's be real, bro. Like, a lot of times a kid will get killed for something and they doing shit in the streets and people be like, oh, but he was innocent, he's good, you know, like he's a good kid, but he's out here doing things, you feel me? So that's the only thing, the hypocrisy is what I'm against.
Out of his aunt's home. Months would pass by without any updates on the case, but social media was buzzing. Rival gangs were quick to diss, while fans were quick to speculate.
Yo, Money Man.
Please.
She's throwing
Send
something
Addy.
because of porn and drug tag. You are a biggest
Because
threat
I'm
in the world. No way.
Bro, I'm so
Flippa. I'll call Flippa right now. There's no way the PO guys are fucking you. I'm gonna cut off your
Tell
hand.
Flippa, he's a goof.
Don't do that.
I P Murda. No, we come in. MG for man.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's a rat. Money Man. She pulled RP Murda. I don't even know who the fuck Murda is. If you ask me. I just know my weeds right here. Yo, good G. I got. What's in my weed right now?
Oh, he about to get disrespectful?
This is called the murder. I'm not talking about that guy, but this is called the murder.
Fast forward 8 months later to November, a bitter Southern Ontario gangland war that goes back decades was reigniting. For years, the Camisso family lorded over the city's underworld with enforcers stretching from Italy across southern Ontario. One of the many enforcers of the Camisso crime family included Antonio Fiorda. Fiorda, nicknamed Scratch because of his scratchy, graveled voice, was a husband and father of 2 children, an owner of a large collection of vintage muscle cars, and an avid denizen at fitness clubs. In 1996, Fiorda was charged after Toronto police seized an AK-47, a pipe bomb, and other explosives from a North York home he owned, a charge he disputed. He was eventually convicted and served prison time, but once released, those close to him were led to believe he would never return to the life of crime, but instead, he became more careful. Fiorda was involved in a lot of the underworld beefs between high-ranking crime figures spanning over decades. For instance, he was in a dispute with Albanian gangsters who wanted to control Toronto nightclubs in the early 2000s, which led to a sit-down between revered mob bosses to settle their differences. In more recent years, however, it is alleged Fiorda was assigned by a senior mafia boss, who he would accompany to court and other public appearances, to be an enforcer for a high-ranking member of the Camisso organization, who had been the victim of a home invasion robbery by armed men in 2016. This man was Joseph Catrapa, and not only was he an ally of the Camisso crime family, but a rival of Nick Nero, a convicted cocaine smuggler for the Sinaloa cartel. On November 4th, 2009.
I ain't gonna hold you. This is some freaking Netflix Narcos type of shit, bro. Like, this is movie material right here. Like, talking about Albanians, the freaking cartels, high-ranking mob. Like, what the hell? This is wild.
19. Fiorda was asked to meet Joseph Catrapa at the upscale Via Allegro Ristorante across from Sherway Gardens. According to recently released court documents, it was alleged that this restaurant was just a few kilometers away from where members of the Sinaloa cartel stayed when they were conducting business with Catrapa's rival, Nick Nero. Catrapa arrived to the restaurant first and waited at the front for Fiorda to arrive, which he eventually did. According to investigators, CCTV showed that Catrapa seen Fiorda arrive and went to approach him, but he quickly ran back after hearing a gunshot.
A man in his 50s has died, and the search is on for the gunman following a shooting in Etobicoke. Let's go live to CP24's Miranda Anthistle, who's at the Queensway and North Queen Street with the very latest on this investigation.
It appears that it was targeted.
was a very busy time of day. A number of people walking around the plaza and in the plaza's parking lot.
Lying with his head on the curb, and there were two nice women there trying to comfort and help him. And he was obviously in a lot of pain.
50-year-old Antonio Fiorda was gunned down. In broad daylight, a Ford pickup truck pulled up right beside Fiorda while a lone gunman hopped out the passenger side. He shot Fiorda 9 times before running back in the truck and driving off. Fiorda died at the scene. His death would remain a mystery for months as nobody came out to provide information. But in the meantime, the underground Toronto drill scene was heating up. 2 weeks after the death of Fiorda, Jungle rappers Top 5 and Flippa would drop a brutal track titled Drill Some More. This song caused the spark in a series of debates discussing whether serious concerns have been raised indicating that drill music causes violence through the use of lyrics and imagery which glorify gang crime and illicit activities. It is commonly asserted that drill content often contains specific references to individuals and groups in a way that causes violent acts.
Well, some breaking news from Toronto police this afternoon, who have now arrested a man considered Canada's most wanted. Police say...
I ain't gonna lie, the same way there's an America's Most Wanted over here, they should have that, like a Canadian's Most Wanted. I don't know if they do, but that would be interesting.
Almost exactly 1 year after the death of Shots Up rapper Murda, Flippa was arrested in connection to his death. 2 months later, Toronto News would drop another bomb as they reported that Flippa, along with the late Driftwood-affiliated rapper YS, were implicated in the death of mob enforcer Tony Scratch. It would take 2 years for just one of Flippa's cases to reach the Superior Court of Canada, and that was
Nah, you wild for having YS in the background like
the
that.
Tony Scratch case. In a rare sequence of events, deliberations would last just 2 months as the Crown prosecutor began trial by providing an abundance of evidence which pointed to Flippa being the driver of the getaway truck and YS being the shooter. Surveillance video at the scene showed the late YS ran after...
Damn, so Flippa was just the getaway driver? I thought he was the one that actually shot. That's wild. So if Flippa was the getaway driver, then why is he sentenced to life? Shouldn't he get less time? But maybe because they offered him a deal, he didn't take it. That's why he blew trial and then he got hit with life.
After Fiorda and fired 12 shots at him, striking him 9 times. He then jumped back into the truck and Flippa drove off. Coincidentally, the Crown prosecutor also noted that the incident just happened to be witnessed by undercover OPP officers watching the restaurant as part of an unrelated investigation. One of the officers followed the pickup truck onto Highway 427 while getting a good look at the driver and the license plate before he lost him. Using surveillance video, police were able to recreate the path of the 2 men to a Tim Hortons, then an Uber to a downtown Toronto condo complex where Flippa was arrested several days later. Found on Flippa's phone the day he was arrested was Fiorda's home address, the kinds of cars he drove, the fact that he walked with a cane, and that he went to an LA fitness gym every weekday from 8 a.m. to noon. The evidence also showed Flippa was following Fiorda at the LA fitness regularly. The police also found several incriminating videos and texts, including a message exchange about the murder in which one of the people says they paid us $60. A video taken the day after the murder and played to the jury shows Flippa and YS celebrating as Flippa fans out $100 bills and talks about $60K. Another video shows Flippa holding bundles of bills in a tall stack. The Crown alleges this is the money given as payment for murdering Fiorda. Flippa urged police that they had the wrong guy, and his lawyer, Dirk Durstein, argued none of the surveillance footage and other evidence used by the Crown clearly identified Flippa as the perpetrator. Prosecutors Mike Wilson and Sean Horgan argued footage of the getaway driver matched Flippa's height, build, unique braided hairstyle, facial hair, and pigeon-toed walk. When discussing the phone with all the incriminating evidence, Flippa insisted the phone was a loaner from YS, who he labeled as a drug dealer with multiple burner phones. YS was killed one...
Damn, so he threw YS under the bus? That brings the debate, you know, where people say, like, if your man is dead and you get arrested for something, should you tell on your dead friend? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. That's wild, but yeah, what would y'all do in that situation? I mean, I understand it. The dude is dead. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? So I probably would lean towards, yeah, you should. If you could have a chance to get off, blame it on your dead friend. Fuck it. Now, if they still alive, that's different, but yeah.
1 month after executing Fiorda, and his death is still a mystery to this day. Deliberations would last just 3 weeks, as the abundance of evidence would assist the jury in quickly reaching a verdict. Said Mohayedan, aka Flippa, would be found guilty of first-degree murder.
Don't hang around me if you ain't know me. I'm God. I'm God. I sit around in the room all day like, I want to flip these ops.
Okay, that's it. All right, that was an interesting video. But again, why did he get life if he was just a driver? That's the only thing that is kind of like I'm questioning. But I think I seen something that was similar to this. I think this is the best documentary about Flippa. But I felt like they could have went in more on Flippa's upbringing, let us know a little bit more about his life. Like, we don't really know too much about him. We just know what he was arrested for and the wild shit. But we really don't know, you know what I'm saying, like his personal story that much. That's the only issue I have with these type of documentaries. It's like they telling you a bunch of stuff that we already know in their words, but they don't really have that inside information to let us know, like, he grew up here, his brother, mother, you know, that type of stuff. But still was a good documentary. Anyway, y'all let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If there's more documentaries y'all want me to check out, just fill me in the bottom. It's your boy Dollars. I'm off this.
For my time goes by, they gon' raise a nigga jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming on my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get her when I fly. Taking off on these niggas I retire. The minute I catch fire, I smoked them all before, just revisiting the high.